Okay, I don't even know if you can see. Mano already had the sun is killing me.
Yeah. Ready to go.
It's all this up. We're on the road
Before 7 a.m.
before 7 a.m.
because we gotta go to Kaneohe. We'll be there to support one of our students. And you know, our students like family, so.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because his case is not even the one we're helping him with. This is a different case
Yeah.
that his son has an attorney for.
Yep.
But because he's family to us, we just want to
Support
be
him.
there to support him. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we do. That's what we do. We do those things.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
I get some coffee, Mom. Mom, you drink all your coffee
I drank
already.
all my coffee. While
Wow.
you was snoring in a chair, I drank all my coffee. And I was the winner, you was the loser. I
Wow.
drank the whole thing. Then I had to shishi every 5 minutes.
You drank all of it?
All of it. All of it. Drank it all. You was the thing snoring.
No, I woke up early this morning.
I know.
No, you know when I woke up? Because I woke up early and I thought, yeah, I said before we went to sleep last night, oh, we'll wake up, we'll make a coffee before we leave.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I was thinking like we're leaving at 6 o'clock. And then, oh no, Jay not coming till 7. And I'm like, okay, what?
Oh.
Huh?
I forgot our mints.
Bruh. Get him. We're going to go right back around.
I'm not.
He is a
I'm not
rookie.
a rookie.
You is a
I'm
rookie.
not a rookie.
I really like these plumera trees. How they get them like that, stunted.
I'm not a rookie.
Mom, you're a rookie.
I'm not a rookie.
Bro, we went all around the world.
Oops, my bad. My bad. My bad.
We're literally going. It's okay, though.
Wait,
It's okay.
sorry, I can't hear you. Hello? We forgot. I forgot.
She's a rookie.
I forgot.
She's a rookie.
And the alarm just went off. You know, by the door, that table that's okay. So the blue container, the blue one, and then mine is the purple and green one. So just pull out Fridays. Yeah, and then his is the long blue one.
But can I make some?
Yeah, so you can bring me his whole. You can give me his whole container. Yeah, just bring out the Friday one because it has. Yeah. Yeah, so the blue is his
Look at
morning
someone's stuff over
mints.
there.
So I just need the long blue one. You can bring the whole thing. And then mine is the purple and green one together. No, we're coming up to the comp. So we'll be up there pretty soon.
Rookie. Mom's a rookie.
Bye. No, I'm not a rookie. Okay, thank you. Bye. I'm not a rookie. Okay. I'm not a rookie. I usually have our meds all packed too.
Yep.
Gee, I was all discombobulated this morning. Actually had breakfast.
You know,
Actually
that
sat
voice
down.
of yours is just amazing.
Daddy.
Huh?
I think it's been like 3 days now.
Yeah. She understands and all of it. Yeah.
Okay. So last night when we were laying in bed, you was too tired. You was too tired to deal with the voice.
Well, I wasn't too tired. I told you before. It's still exciting.
But then you was too tired to do anything about it.
Oh yeah?
And then you was.
Is that a challenge?
No, I'm saying.
That's
No,
a challenge. That's
it's not a challenge.
That's
It's a fact that last night. I don't know about tonight. I'm just saying last night. You were going to do all kinds of things because of the voice, but you were too tired.
Wore me out.
Last night, the kitty cat didn't come by my feet at all.
She was sleeping above your head.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I woke up. She was But yeah.
See, it's so funny. Like, last night she just didn't. I don't know if she had more, like, she burned out her energy in the morning because Jay said she was really naughty. So maybe she burned out her energy all day and she was really tired at night.
Right.
But then after you woke up at 3:30 in the morning, she was zooming all over the bed. And then she kept running to me. She's hiding like this by the blanket, staring at me. And she'd run up to me real quick and just gently bite my face and then run away. I'm like, bruh. And I'm trying to go back to sleep because I had my alarm set for 5.
Right.
I'm telling her, stop bugging me. I'm telling you. She's a real rascal. She has so much energy.
Yeah, she does.
I can't imagine if she was in the wild. Like, I don't think she'd have any problems catching birds and
that.
You know,
nice,
yeah. Like,
I don't know. The rats in Waianae might give her up around for money.
the rats by our house is like the same size as her. They're huge. But going back around to pick up meds because I was not a rookie.
Because she's
I was not a rookie. And I found meds.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should go up.
Yeah, this.
Oh, there he is. I was gonna.
Look how strong the thing came back, the liquid.
I know, this is like the 3rd time I've seen them cut it down. I'm not a rookie. I'm not a rookie. Anyway, thank you.
Have a good day. All right, man.
Not a rookie. See how I get harassed from everybody? You see that? It's all harassment. Okay, let me get this out of the way, and then we can talk.
All right. Take your meds every morning, guys.
Take your meds.
Yeah, that's a good message right there.
Last night I was stressing. I was partly tired and partly something else, and I just was like all discombobulated, and I'm usually really good about his meds, and I make them.
Yep.
In this, I learned with my son, you know, it's like a whole week's worth. And I was making, it was important too, it was his Plavix, because he has a stent in his brain. They have to make sure really that he doesn't have a blood clot. And so
Perfect timing.
he's gonna be on it until once they do your thing and everything's okay with the stent, then you can get off the Plavix.
Oh yeah? Oh, so I have to take a fluorescent highlight.
No, you have to take the aspirin first if you like, but not the Plavix.
Oh.
So that's a big thing.
Hey, when is my thing? Is it in July too, yeah?
June or July. I don't know if they scheduled it yet. I don't think they scheduled it. They just warned you.
Yeah, I think it's in July. I think it might be around July 2nd.
It can't be on July 2nd. They schedule it. I'm gonna have to tell them they can't do it on that day. Okay. So, I actually thought about something. You know what's funny is after we go home and
Right.
stuff, and I'm uploading the videos, then
In your purse,
yeah.
that front pocket, get the bag for the rubbish.
Okay.
But-
Okay. I'll do that.
Right.
So yeah, I think of these things.
Uh-oh.
They just come to my head,
Uh-oh.
you know.
Like, what
But-
kind of things?
Like, no, I mean like things
Huh?
to talk about.
Oh, yeah? Thinking naughty things?
No, not naughty things.
You're naughty.
I am not naughty.
See that voice? I am not naughty. The naughty voice saying I'm not naughty.
It's because I'm
Say that
losing
you're
my
naughty.
voice. So you're telling me I'm losing my voice, but I'm getting naughty?
Saying that you're naughty.
so I'm naughty, but it's
Three for
coming
three,
out
Bella.
through my voice. Bruh. I'm not even playing.
You know that.
Because you cheated already this morning. You know, when he gets up before the chickens, right? It's ridiculous because he's got the prison 4 o'clock
Head count.
head count.
4 o'clock. Head out. Get
For a
up.
while, for a long time.
Stand by the
You
door.
wasn't doing that. You weren't doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
But now, it's especially when he has a lot on his mind, you know, and he's excited about something or worked up about something. He'll get up at the crack of dawn, 2 o'clock in the morning. He's bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, you know, watching the news, making coffee, and I'm like, why are you up? You know? And I stay in bed, but then, you know, I can't go back to sleep a lot of times. I lay in bed, so I still rest, but I'm not sleeping a lot of times. Or if I do fall back asleep, it's like right before I actually have to get up. It never fails. So he was up at 3:30 in the morning. And then once he got up, the cat got up. And once the cat got up, she was doing zoomies all over me. And she ran across my face, jumped on my cheek onto the headboard. She used my head as like a platform. It was like, boy. But, okay, so my topic that I thought about was, you know how everybody has a love language?
Love language, yeah.
Okay, so I
watched the gold digger videos. Love language is money.
There's this
shopping,
money, shopping, nice cars.
Yeah.
Just take care of me, right?
Yeah.
Love language is
I don't want to work.
Yeah.
I don't want to do any work.
No, it's not I don't want to work. It's I shouldn't have to work because look at me.
Look at me.
Right? Look at me. I'm a beautiful girl.
And you know what's amazing too? They also say that kind of like they don't even like clean the house. We can hire a maid to do that.
Yeah.
So I think to myself, how you live right now? Nobody scrub your toilet. Nobody do that. Nobody scrub your toilet, your shower.
Do they hire somebody to wipe their ass? Because I mean, that's a dirty job, right? Like, I don't know. And then they say, you know, McDonald's. I don't need McDonald's. Do I look like a McDonald's bitch? Bitch, you look more like a Goodwill bitch, but I'm just trying to upgrade you a little bit. I'm trying to be nice here, you know. So I like what London says, act your wage.
Act your wage.
You know? But yeah, so like, everybody has a love language. So before you met me, did you know what your love language was?
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So now, what is your love language? Well, no, that's not true. You loved hugging.
Yeah.
Right, so in a way, that's kind of your love language. And love language doesn't have to be like, you know, like an intimate sexual, like it's with everybody, right?
Yeah,
love
hugging is not intimate sexual stuff.
Yeah, and so
it's just you showing you genuinely care for somebody.
For you, that's love language, right?
Yeah, I learned. Well, I didn't know that was a thing called love language.
Right.
I just knew that when I met my foster family.
Right.
They was like hugging me, like I was like blown away, like what the hell is that? And felt good. I was having a hug from my mom, sister there, and my school.
For the first time.
47 left for me.
So I mean that's interesting because
I was like 15 years old.
For you, that's a love language.
Right.
You know, but people who don't normally hug, that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't love you. It's just not, you know what I mean?
I take it offensive. Because we Hawaiian culture, and I realized that that's part of Hawaiian culture.
Yes, that's you, though, right? Because I know a lot of Hawaiians who don't hug. You know, they just say hi.
I don't know.
I've been places with you that Hawaiians don't hug me.
Yeah?
Yes. So that's not, you know, majority, yes. But I'm saying like
there's a beautiful sound.
There's certain things like my love language is like love, right? That's my love language, like truly love and happiness and stuff. But if people I'm dealing with, even though they like me, is not showing me that, I can't say that, oh, you really don't like me then. You know what I mean? Because you're not showing me love and happiness all the time, right? So.
And I just think that's them girl problem.
See, but it's not really, because it's about accepting everybody for who they are, right? Just like you want people to accept you for how you are, it has to be reciprocated.
So if I don't get that reciprocated, then I know that there's a wall there. There's a wall, and we're cool, but there's a wall there.
Right, there can be a wall, but that doesn't mean that they don't love you. That just means
that side of the wall, I'm on this side of the wall.
That means eventually.
You're over there, I'm over here.
Are you done? That means eventually the wall can come down. Otherwise, we could say that about us. You put a wall in between us because you're defensive about how your life was before. So that means you over there and I'm over here.
Yeah.
Yeah? See, you know what I mean? So my point about love language though is like not even all that. Like I think the love language changes according to what you need. Like, so if we have no stresses in our life and we're just laying in bed, we're both not exhausted or whatever, then the love language in between us would be, showing affection and stuff like that. And I would be touching you, and, you would be saying stop. And then you would be like caressing my face and telling me I'm beautiful and stuff, right? That's what we do. But like, when you're stressed about something, what you need at that time as a love language from me is different, right? You don't need like say for instance yesterday, right? You had the lawsuit on your mind, right? But you wanted to file it, right? So
I'm so glad we're there. Hey, look, we're gonna have canoe races.
Yeah, I'm glad too, because I don't like when you're stressed like that, because then it stresses me out, because then I'm like, ooh, But at the time when we went home, right? And I said, okay, give me a few minutes to look for the paperwork, right? But your mindset already was like, okay, it's been a few minutes, when it was only like 30 seconds, right? In your mind, it's been like 10 minutes already.
No, 100 million minutes.
100 million minutes, right? So then you start getting flustered, right? And then when I can't find the paperwork right away, and it wasn't 10 minutes yet, your mindset goes to, that's it, we lost the papers, fuck it, we got to drive all the way back to Waimanalo, start all over again. And I'm like, okay, stop, take a breath, let me find it, right? Because I know we have it.
Right.
So at that moment, my love language to you, what we would normally do where I did that, wouldn't have helped you, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
it's
I think you would have been, no, but I think you would have been irritated. Because you would have been, stop, we gotta find, we got shit to do, right? So at that moment, what is your love language? Like, what kind of love language do you need from me at that moment? Other than hurry the fuck up. Because I can't go faster than I'm already looking. But what kind of love language? Because usually I would catch a lot more feelings than I did yesterday. Right? And I tried really hard yesterday after to just let it go, because I was like, okay, I understand why he's being, and I found a word, abrasive. We watched that movie last night. Remember that movie? We didn't watch the whole thing. The one he said, I think it's called After Sex or something.
Oh yeah.
They're talking about all the different couples.
Yeah.
And there was that two girls.
Yeah.
And the one girl, the abrasive one, was like, oh my gosh, are you catching feelings? Please don't catch feelings. And so it reminded me of me.
Right.
Because I'm always the one crying for everything, and I catch feelings and I get hurt for everything. And then the abrasive one, or the nice one, the gentle one said to the other one, it's just that you're so abrasive sometimes. And I thought, well, that's a better word than aggressive, right? Because I tend to say that you can be aggressive, like people take you as aggressive, and in your mind you're like, no,
assertive,
right? You're assertive, whatever. So when she said that to the girl said,
when they don't like it, when people don't like it, they call it aggressive.
Well, when they don't understand it, right? They don't understand.
When they don't like it, they don't like it.
Okay, stop. Because in the movie she said exactly what you would say. As an abrasive person, she acknowledged that she was abrasive, and she said, oh, come on, that's how I am, and I don't mean anything by it. And if you don't like it, just it was basically, she said, if you don't like it, then just fuck off, kind of thing. Right?
That sounds like me too.
That's what I said. Like when I heard that, I was like, wow, that right there is like me and you, like she was saying, that's how I am, that's how I am, just deal with it. Right? And the girl is like, but you're so abrasive sometimes, like you don't have to be abrasive, And so that dynamic right there. So I like that word. I like it's a new word, abrasive. And it's not bad.
I can accept it.
It's not bad, you know what I mean?
I can accept it.
So we have to find a counter word for me.
Okay.
That matches what?
Bully.
I am not a bully. No, that is like matches my crybabiness, and stuff like that. Something
I don't know.
That describes
I think that you're like super sensitive.
Sensitive. I am. Yeah. I'm sensitive to everything.
Yeah.
Everything and everybody.
Yeah.
Even if
I mean, a dead cat on the road,
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
And even
I'm like, what am I supposed to do? We can't. It's
stop
there.
So I can dig a hole and bury it.
We don't have time for that. We gotta go.
No, I get that. So in my heart, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I realize that
That's okay. So when you first told me about about the bird when he was young, your mom.
Yeah. I found an injured bird, and it broke my curfew because I was outside, because I knew the bird was gonna die. Right? There was nothing I could do already. The bird was gonna die. I wasn't trying to save the bird. I was trying to comfort the bird while the bird crossed over, right? So I didn't want to put it in the bushes or anything like that. And I'm serious. I wanted the bird to be warm and cozy when it crossed over. And so I sat outside and I kept thinking, I think it was like a couple hours, Like my curfew was like 8 o'clock or something, or 6 o'clock that time. And I was out there for
What kind of a bird was it?
It was a little dove.
A dove?
It was just a dove, yeah. I mean, not just a dove, but...
I think that the doves be like your alma poor. They're going to be here to protect you forever because of the love that you gave to that bird.
Yeah. That means I have a cat one, a dog one, and a... But, yeah, so I held it in my hand, and I talked to him or her, and I gently, like, petting him, and I was crying, and I kept telling him, it's okay, you can go, God's on the other side, God's gonna take you, and
that's sweet.
It was really sad.
Yeah.
I kept thinking,
that's what I love about it.
But I kept thinking he's gonna die.
I think I get a chance. I think I get a chance to repeat myself because I with you.
See, and it's making me cry thinking about it. See, so that's how
you're a
sensitive.
true empath.
So, and I kept thinking, he's gonna die in the next 5 minutes. Just 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. And I was aware of my curfew, and I looked at the time, and I thought, oh boy, I'm gonna get in trouble. And I thought, okay, should I put him somewhere safe? I was gonna build like a cozy, nest for him and put him in there, but I just couldn't do that. I couldn't let him go. And so, like 6:15.
It was full gas.
Yeah. How much gas is there?
That 98.
Yeah, okay. We got gas. Yeah, that's why we left earlier.
Right.
So
okay.
So 6:15. Yeah. So 6:15, my mom came outside because I was literally right outside the house,
Right.
you know. But I didn't want it because my mom would be like, throw it away, you know. I'm like, that's so cruel. So 6:15, my mom comes out of the house and she sees me sitting on the side. She goes, what the hell are you doing, right? And she goes, it's 6:15 already. And I said, I know. And she goes, hello, curfew is 6. I said, I know. And I was here at 6 o'clock. She didn't believe me, right? She goes, get in the house. I said, I can't. And she goes, why? And I was holding the bird and I said, because I found a bird and it's going to die. She said, oh my gosh, it's going to die. And then throw him away. And I'm like, no. He's going to die really soon. And she was mad at me, right? Because, and that I should have, abided by my curfew. And so I cried and she was like, oh
would
my
have
gosh,
been cool, yeah. She would have just been
like, let me bring the bird in the house and stuff. Yeah, I think actually she did even, because I was arguing with her, right? And I was in high school, so I was not like a 9-year-old, I was a little bit more argumentative. And so I told her, I said, just let me bring it in the house and put it in a box. And when it dies, I'll throw it away, right? Of course, I buried it. She didn't know. I told her, I'm going to throw it away. She told me, put it in a bag and I'll throw it in the rubbish. I said, okay. I went out by the rubbish can. I took it in the bag and put it out. Dug a hole real quick and I put it in the rubbish. And I get in the house. She goes, did you throw it away?
You gave him a proper burial.
I did. He literally died, I think, within 15 minutes that I went in the house. So I got to see him close his eyes for the last time and, take his last breath.
So what happened? He just flopped right over?
No, he was already weak and slumped over.
Yeah.
So I was just holding his head up because otherwise his head was just flopping.
Yeah.
But he was still breathing. I mean, that's the part that I was like, he's still breathing. That means he's still there. He's aware,
Yeah.
So he finally, and his eyes were open, and he's looking at me. And he
You know
was
what
kind of labor breathing.
beautiful one day everybody gonna pass over. They're gonna pass over to the outside. Everybody gonna do that. It's beautiful for you to be able to reunite with that bird. He'll be the first one to greet you. Just keep flying and land on your shoulder. You know what I mean? It's gonna thank you.
And I think after that bird died, there was for about a month after, I would always see a dove really close to me. It would always be as almost it was trying to talk to me.
So the doves come to the window?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what made me know we know.
So I feel too, the whole Kyoki situation.
Yeah.
I've always been put in a situation right when people cross over. Or right before, to comfort them.
Right.
Like Kyoki, right?
Yeah.
We were brought at that moment because it was already in the plan.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'm not sensitive.
You're sensitive. And it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful. I love it.
But yeah, that's I think that's where I'm meant to be. And it's hard. But I think that's where I'm meant to be in life. But
okay. Why are you guys coming to a complete stop on a freeway? Excuse me.
So last night's incident, right? In that situation when you have something on your mind and stuff. What do you think you would have wanted from me as my love language in that moment? Or did I do it right? Just to not bark at you.
I think not barking at me was perfect. Everything worked out right. I mean, I never tripped.
I know you did it because I was the one that caught feelings.
Yeah.
You were on a mission.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think when you're on a mission, you don't realize sometimes the abrasiveness that comes out, towards me. And it's not, like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's not
at that
abusive.
time, I don't have time to deal with sensitivities. You know
Right,
what I mean? I gotta focus.
Right. But there's times where I'm asking for patience because I know I can find the paperwork, right? But I just
Yeah,
Need that.
and the thing that frustrates me is that we're only on a small environment. We're no more like one big office space where from
Yeah,
one
but you see
end
my
football
office
field to
space.
the other end, you gotta go
But you
six
see my
minutes.
office space,
Yeah.
right? And so,
And I don't help by keep dumping stuff over there.
and I dump stuff too because we're so busy. That's why I said, I really want to
You
keep
gotta
my.
get the cubby hole kind of thing.
I wanted to do a thing yesterday, but I was just too tired, And so, okay, so that incident, that's the love language you need. So that's something that I have to work on, right? Just allowing myself, because I get flustered right away.
Yeah. Now you know what? I would just don't take things so personal.
See, and that's how
Don't
do you
don't
do
get
that when you're a sensitive person?
don't. You know what I mean? Like, cause the thing fucks me up. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to fall somewhere and now you're making me feel bad over here, and I gotta deal with that. Like, bro, I'm not trying to deal with that. I'm just trying to deal with this thing over here.
But how do you do that as a super sensitive person?
You gotta, I
It's
don't know.
super sensitive.
I know. So
See?
and I'm the opposite, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So what
And
I'm asking of you is don't be so abrasive to me, right? Because
and then
just
don't
let
be
me.
so sensitive.
That's,
You see?
see?
So there gotta be a happy medium.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it can't be just deal with it. This is how I am. Because
Right.
both of us have to grow and learn, right? And
Right.
so different situations call. So to me, when I'm looking for your paperwork, I need a different love language from you, right?
Mhm.
And rare is not it, right?
Right.
So that's a different situation, love language. And then I think, like, when I'm stressed about something, like it was after I asked you for a hug yesterday,
Mhm.
right? Because I had all kinds of feelings going on
It felt
inside,
good, dude.
right?
The
Yeah.
hug felt good.
And because I needed that love language from you at that moment. Because even though I knew that it wasn't like an argument thing, there was feelings on my side, right?
Right.
And I needed that hug from you. I needed that love language from you at the time. And I don't know what you needed from me at the time, but
Well, I felt good though.
so it helped.
Even though I actually needed it.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
good. Like it.
Yeah. So what other, like,
And you know me, I'm good with hugs, but hugs is the shit.
so like,
Hugs really tell me that your heart is with me.
okay,
Yeah.
so every time we start arguing, I'm gonna hug you. Just hug you. I'm gonna hug the shit out of you.
What? All that? Like
Yeah.
all
You're
that?
gonna be like, rah, rah, rah. I'm like, give me a hug. Just give me a hug.
Let's do that. See, that's the thing I like about our relationship. We keep trying to
Try different
mediate
things.
to get to a
Yeah.
good place where everything can be copacetic.
Yeah. And that's what a relationship is supposed to be, right? It's
Working.
supposed to work together.
Yeah.
And both
We've
sides.
had 6 years already almost.
Yeah. But see,
Mhm.
and I think within the amount of time that we've been together too, maybe our
We're
love
making
language.
progress, huh?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I think that our love language might have changed slightly. I mean, you are who you are. I am who I am. But
And I bees what I bees, and we bees what we bees.
don't tell me what to do. But no, but you know what I mean? Over time, I think what we need from each other might change as well. Because our circumstances change, right? When we first met, we were together for 5 weeks and you were taken back to Halava,
Mm-hmm.
right? So our needs at that time were different. And then when you came home, our love language to each other was just be with each other and hold each other because we missed out on that, between the glass,
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
and I couldn't touch you, so I couldn't do this, right?
Right.
So that was what we needed
I
at
felt
the
good
time.
just now. You just,
This,
yeah.
that wasn't a
Hmm?
stop moment.
This feels good.
But
Warm.
but then after,
Nice, warm, and loving.
not that the honeymoon phase ended, because I still don't think that ended between us.
What's that?
Like the honeymoon phase of the relationship.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, because it's not like a.
I fall in love with you all the time.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
You lose your voice just now, and I think hot and sexy. It's seductive. Trying to knock me down.
No, don't finish that sentence. Do not finish that sentence.
Yeah.
No, but I think, it's good, and I think that just like adds. I think of it like filling the bucket.
I really needed a really good girl like you in my life.
Yeah.
To make me, like, soften me up and watch movies together, and we can cry, and so.
We can cry.
Don't tell everybody that though. What they think, huh?
You're on video. You ratted yourself out.
Bruh.
You ratted yourself out, just like that guy. You ratted yourself out. But yeah, and I love to see that, and you know what? That's something that makes me fall in love with you more, is seeing that side of you, that when we watch movies that you cry, and you cry with romance movies, like the happy ending, happily ever after. Happy ending.
I have cried when I was in prison, but it had to be hidden. It's
right.
Like I just stand up and act like I'm on bathroom, to myself. And like, because inside that, if you show weakness, people can take advantage of it.
Yeah. I can imagine. And so that must be. See?
Yeah.
That proves that it doesn't matter where you are. It's not just on the west side, because we're in Pearl City now.
And I don't know what was going on over there.
And even seeing that hurts me.
Yeah.
Because I want to help the person. You know what I mean? And a lot of people will pass crazy people, and we say that too. Like, oh boy, they're talking to the spirits again and stuff. But deep down inside, what I really want to do is stop right there. Stop, just like the injured birds.
Okay. You want to get ready?
I will stop and help the person, and ask them what they need. And a lot of them they have mental illness, and I realize that just me is not going to be able to help them, but I still want to try.
Yeah.
Guess what else I have to do?
What you gotta do?
When I go in there.
What? What is Shishi? The Shishi girl?
Yes. Okay, keep it going.
All right.
Talk about
beautiful girl.
Just tell me what to do.
I really am crazy about my wife. She brought me back from a very dark place, and for me to learn to be a loving, caring human being, it's a really special thing for me. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the fact that I can come back from that bad place and come and be a good person, treat people with kindness, do for others, and just participate in society on society's terms. I gotta tell you, when you do bad things and when you do things with bad intentions, that shit will come back and hit you hard, and it'll hit you at the most unlikely moment, and you will feel it. You'll feel it one way or another, but that shit come back and bite you in the ass. So what I would say to everybody out there, man, just I know it's hard, bro. Some people just hard to deal with and whatnot. We just gotta have love in our hearts for people. You know, we just gotta do that, bro. It's a crazy world out there right now, man. I mean, in the continent of America, man, that shit's a powder keg getting ready to explode at any moment. You know, and you know, everybody clearly sees hypocrisy, right? And for me, that's one of the biggest irritants I get. Is like I cannot stand hypocrisy, and I don't stand it in my own self. I've been critical of my own self since I was 24 years old when I consciously decided I'm not gonna be hypocritical in my own beliefs, you know, in my own practices. And every now and then, you know, it's hard to get rid of old tendencies, but I really strive not to be hypocritical. I practice what I preach what I practice. And you know, out there you see everybody talk about, oh, the rule of law. Only the rule of law as far as you want to enforce it for yourself, but you don't for others, but you don't want to enforce it for yourself. You know, the rule of law don't matter. So here she comes. Don't tell her I said all this stuff.
843, honey.
It's a secret. Keep it.
What's a secret? I'm gonna find out.
What you talking
Wait,
about?
I gotta tell you something that happened in there.
Uh-oh.
I think somebody's cheating.
What?
Because this lady I was in the bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was only us, me and this lady. And
Right.
she was on the phone with her husband.
Right.
And he was telling her that he was
843
coming
honey
home.
bun,
I
love
just
you.
said that.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus. Amen. So she was telling him, but why? I thought you're supposed to work. I thought it's supposed to be 39 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, but we started early a couple of days ago. So, you know, I'm going to finish early.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, and he goes, why are you grumbling? Because it was on speaker.
Yeah.
Why are you grumbling? So he said, I'm going to come home early. She goes, what? I'm not going to be home. He goes, why? I'll just come to you then. I'll come hang out with you where you are. She goes, no, because I'm going to be busy. And he goes, where are you going? She was making all these excuses and she was grumbling. And he goes, why? Where are you going to go? Who are you going to be with? I was like, ooh, she's busted.
Explain it.
She
Got
is
some
so
explaining to do.
She's so busted.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Now I get to talk about you.
Uh-oh.
So that brings me to an idea too that like, so okay, before he met me, you know, his relationship with his ex-wife was what it was, and intimately, you know, they weren't the best, right? Things happen. I don't know how it happened, what happened. That's none of my business. But he was known as like, you know, the guy that goes out and you know, does whatever, cheats and stuff like that. Like so people have this stigma about once a cheater, always a cheater kind of thing, right?
Dude.
And I don't think that that's true because, you know, not that I'm justifying anything, but there was, you have to look deeper in the situations, and there was a reason why that happened. Just like there's a reason for everything that people do, right? And so since he's been with me, it's like everything has changed and he's totally opposite. Like he would want to go out before and have his me time. Now he doesn't want to leave my side. Like he's like, no, come with me, even if it's to the store or whatever, right? And so there's always that connection between us. And people have, because of his past, and they know that, and people just judge, whether you say you judge or not. You know, when you hear about his past, or people talk within a circle, oh, you know what that guy did before, and so people hang on to that. So then when something happens or he says something to somebody, they take it like, oh my God, you mean this, you mean that. It's like, well, okay, back up, just calm your nuts a little bit. But I don't think that's like saying somebody who's committed a crime can never rehabilitate, and that's not the truth, right? I know a lot of people that have totally rehabilitated, including my husband. But is he perfect? Is everybody perfect? No. Is he still working on stuff? Yes, of course, we all are. But that was really important, and for me, loyalty is a big thing, right? So I told him off the bat when we first met, and I didn't think it was going to be this kind of relationship. I was leaving my marriage already, and I just was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. So at that point, just going out, being with somebody was, like connecting with somebody is like, oh, this is cool. We can be friends. And so right away, it was like he was deleting his little black book, and he showed it to me.
Like 8 cents cheaper.
Oh, yeah?
And then, Costco.
Oh, I didn't use our money. I forgot. I took out the 40 from Jay, and I went there, and I was thinking, wait, but that's okay because we have ours to refill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like over the weekend.
And we can go buy kitty litter for the kids.
But then we'll have at least money. Right. But yeah, so I was talking about you,
bro. It's all lies.
I don't think you want to say that. when you see the video, you're gonna realize why I said that. But yeah. So, see, even that, his love language changed.
What's that?
I was talking about because I was talking about the couple that was one of them was cheating in the bathroom. Right. And so it made me think about like how you were before.
You can go, right?
I was talking about how you were before and what people's, like the people that knew you prior to meeting me.
Yeah.
What the stigma that they think of you, right? This is who he is. This is what he does,
Right.
And then now you're different. And so now, even as far as like...
I'm not different. I've evolved. I think we all should be evolving.
Well, see, but evolving, okay. Yep. Okay, so let's talk about that.
Evolving.
Because I think, as far as I'm talking
blossoming.
about...
I'm a flower.
You blossom? Well, because when I think of the word evolve, I think of not like for you. I think what's coming out is what's coming out of you is what it's like how you say educing, right?
Right.
Like to me, what's coming out of you now is the true person that you always was meant to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So to me, evolving is a little bit different. But maybe some
that's
things.
True. That's a good point.
To some things, yeah. It's like I'm evolving in some things. But I feel like, so your circumstances, like with your prior relationship, right? And how you needed me time and stuff. That came from a specific reason.
Right.
That you weren't getting in your life, right?
Right.
And so it's like you were searching for that. And then now it's like you don't even want me to go to the store by myself, right? Because you want to be with me all the time. And we've done it for 6 years.
Consistently.
6 years. So it went from needing me time to instantly not needing me time, right? So to me, it's like when people say, like, once a cheater, always a cheater. Once a criminal, always a criminal. That kind of stuff. I don't think that's
absolute
true.
Statements.
Yeah.
Nothing is absolute.
Right.
Somebody gonna surprise you one day and boom, do something different. The most evilest person in the world turn around and just do something nice with somebody one day, just because.
Just because.
There's no absolutes. When people talk in terms of absolutes, and I've done it before. I know, you always do this to me. I still do that. Yeah, you're always like that.
Yeah.
And it's not. And we ask a question. Always?
Yeah.
Am I always? Do I always do
Every
this?
single time, really?
Yeah, and it's not, right?
Yeah. And a
Yeah.
lot of that is, yeah, like when you're in the heat of the moment and you're angry, then,
When I get that absolute statement, then I know already I want the argument.
yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So, so I've seen a change in you since we've been together. Um, and I guess your change is more apparent than mine because you had a past, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had a what you normally did and stuff. So is there a change that you see in me since we first met?
Yeah, you're a bigger bully.
I'm not a
Bully
bully.
to the cat. You bully to the dog. You bully to the kids. You bully to me. When I met you, you was just bullying to the kids, but now you bully everybody.
No, I don't bully.
Mom is the bully.
I am not a bully.
Nah.
I'm not a bully.
No, I don't know. I see that you're really making an effort to have like peace in our relationship, you know, and to show me that what real love is. It's like I think your job is like 24/7.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
know?
feel like that. But you know what's ironic about that?
What's that?
When I met you, I was completely emotionally, spiritually, physically tired. I was like at the end of my bucket was, empty, right? So when I first met you, I thought that okay, cool. I could have somebody that I could hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as getting into a relationship, an intimate relationship, and actually working on another marriage, I never thought that because you know what I mean. Like I had tried so much in my previous marriage, and to me, I was like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
Right.
And so, after a little while of being with you, especially you telling me you cannot breathe,
I couldn't breathe.
But after, I knew when you first talked to me that I knew that we would be close because I was connected to you in that way, right? But then as we started getting closer,
To
I think by the time we were together for 5 weeks, I was already like, okay, this is a relationship. I don't know if I thought marriage or whatever, but you know what really made me realize what my heart was feeling is when you got taken away. Because that's
You're being emotional.
that's
being sensitive. I
that's
love you.
the moment.
I love you.
I love you too. That's the moment that I realized that I couldn't live without you.
Wow.
Like, because I could have just said, well, that was a great run. We're together for 5 weeks. Good job. I wish you the best kind of thing. But
And that's what I thought in my head.
Yeah.
I thought in my head, now I say lock up. All that, all lovey-dovey and all that. Watch the thing will disappear.
It's just
She gonna find another guy, and all that. And I'm gonna get the sad story. I'm gonna get the thing, oh, sorry, I cannot do this. This is too much for me. I was, fortunately, love you, honey bun. I noticed the kitchen of my today. But that's why every time when we talk on the phone, and the thing was going sideways, so wow.
Yeah, that's why you
drive like you're in Hawaii, not even in the mainland over there.
That's why you were telling me just go
then
and be happy.
I would rather just know that it's going that way than pretend that it's not that.
Yeah, and I noticed that because it wasn't big things that we were going through while you were in. It was little things, right? But it was like you went straight to the extreme, which you do.
Yeah.
You tend to do. And so I was like, wait a minute, how did it go from this to like go find somebody to be happy with, right?
Right.
And so I guess then you would get shocked again the next day when I was still fully vested, right? You're like, what the fuck?
Well, she for real, what? And then every time, almost every step of the way, it was just constantly like there. As much as I try to shake it off and all that, because hey, when people say that they're down for you and all that, fuck it, the first fucking fire come, boom, they run it. You know what I mean? Fucking first crash, they run it. Fucking always gonna get one excuse why they gonna fucking bail. Yeah. You know, and fuck that. I had that. My first marriage was like that. My first marriage would really blow my mind. That would really get me sour.
Yeah.
Because she was an ex-con, right? She knew the game, she knew the hustle, she knew the streets. So we were on the same fucking page. That's why we make us click from the beginning, right? But she was fucking really playing them for her own self, you know? And she wasn't honest with me about if she wanted her son to come over there. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And I told her, you responsible for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not his father. You know what I mean? No, the excuse she gave to have him come live with us is what went tug at my heartstrings.
Okay.
She said that he was treated like a third-class citizen in his own father's house because he had kids from another lady after her, and then the woman that he's staying with now, he get kids with them, and he favor them more than the other two.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, and I'm like, and he always beating his ass, and I was like, okay, I don't like that.
Yeah.
When she told me that she didn't play off of my past.
Yeah.
I don't like that. So I was like, okay, let him come over here then. And the first day I met him, he had fucking attitude. But I was like, yeah, that's okay. You know what I mean? I'm not his father. He get issues.
That
Okay,
could have
whatever.
been the baggage that he came with,
Yeah,
right?
And then, but more and more, he just started fucking trying to punk me. And I said, thinking to myself, what fucker, you may be 16 years old, but you're a big boy. You know what I mean? You're going to be 17 pretty soon. Fucker, that's not an excuse for, in my mind, that you can just go ahead and talk to me and treat me any kind of way. And it was bad for me because I come from one environment where you cannot fucking get away with doing shit like that. You know what I mean?
And you're on parole.
And I'm on parole.
So you had
It
to
was,
protect yourself.
yeah. Any little thing, fucking boom, they like slam you back. I think about it. So what I saw from with him was red flags.
Yeah.
Red flag. And I knew it. It was red flag. But I just didn't roll with it because, that's her son. What am I going to do? That's her son. And they kept, and so every time he would punk me out, I would say, oh yeah? He tell me, calling me, I said, yeah, let's go right now. And I thinking to myself, fuck up. If I broke your ass, you're going to fucking cry to your mother. You know what I mean? You'll call the cops. And I was like, yeah, okay. So what I would do was, I would flip the script. I would tell him, okay, hold on. I call his mother. I go, hey, babe, here. Yeah, your son gets something he like tell you. I said, go ahead, tell him. Tell him what you like do. And then he went, fuck you. And he would slap the phone out of my hand and all that kind of stuff. And finally, I just had to tell him about himself.
Maybe he was doing that on purpose because maybe he wanted to get you out of the picture so that him and his mom could just live.
Yeah. But that was my apartment.
Yeah.
I was making the money for pay for that apartment.
Yeah. So that
you fucking talk about kicking me out of my own house. That shit not gonna happen.
So your first marriage went sour.
Yeah.
Your second, so you all saw these red flags. Your second marriage, you saw a lot of red flags.
Yeah.
And so third time's a charm.
Yeah.
But third time also comes with a lot of, I don't know how you call it.
It comes with residual memories.
Yeah.
Residual memories of what people say. What people say and what they do, two different things.
Yeah.
She said she's down with me. She would never do that to me. She would never like back me out or do stupid shit, right, to me like that. Wouldn't put me in a position, and then boom, she did them. And then my second one, oh yeah, I would never do what Nancy did to you. I would never do that to you. You know, and mommy never have kids, so I never have to worry about that.
And then here I am telling you the same thing, like,
Like,
why are you comparing me, or not comparing, but why are you feeling the same thing? Like, I'm not them, and I've never ever treated you like them. So for me, it's like, okay, that's not fair. That I'm catching the residuals from your past. But at the same time, I also understand that, first of all, you've had a whole lifetime of people saying one thing and doing another, right?
From when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My mother smoking cigarettes. She smoked cigarettes. You guys better not smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
You smoke cigarettes, beat your ass. I think to myself, fuck, you telling us no smoke cigarettes. And I think bad for once in a while, but you smoke these cigarettes.
My parents did the same thing.
It's
so
little
I
stuff like that.
And it was a whole lifetime, like I said, of that, right? Whether you're on the street.
It's funny that we're talking about that, because that right there, what I'm talking about is hypocrisy. When you went in, when you into Walmart, I was talking about the hypocrisy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That thing is a real fucking.
Hypocrisy with me?
No.
Oh.
Hypocrisy is a real issue with me.
Yeah.
But and I tell you, that's one of the reasons why I read the speeches of Malcolm X. Because Malcolm X said the truth about America back in the 60s, and it's still true to today. American democracy is nothing but disguised hypocrisy. There's no way around that. There's no way to sugarcoat that. Nothing. It is the truth. American democracy is nothing but disguised hypocrisy. Peace with strength.
But can I tell you something about yourself? Can I tell you about yourself?
Tell me about myself.
I think that you take it to the extreme, because I have to give you credit. You are the only person that I know, man or woman, that you are consistent with what you say and do. There's a lot of people that, not to fault them, people don't intend to, like there's little things like, oh, we're going to be there at 8 o'clock, okay, 9 o'clock comes, sorry we had, got caught up, right? Well, we do that, right? Like, we meant to be there at 8.
Right.
So those kind of things, but with you, and I guess that's why when we're arguing and you'll say things out of anger, I take it to heart, because you're one of the few, if not the only person I know that you speak what you mean, right? So that's a kind of a comfort for me, because I know when you tell me you love me and you make me coffee because you want to do the little things that make me happy, like, I know you're not bullshitting me, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's to me, that's a, how do you, we did the light thing last one, this one has lights, but to me that's a big thing, because I've never met anybody like that. Like truly true to yourself. And honestly, I think, I don't know what it is about the prison life. I don't know if because I can't say that it teaches you how to be real. I mean, it teaches you how to be real, but at the same time, you also need to know how to play your cards right in prison. So sometimes you have to not lie, but you know what I mean.
Fake the funk.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not always like being real.
So,
but
and you know the guys that fake the funk in prison?
yeah,
They get their card pulled all the time.
yeah,
All the time. They get their card pulled.
yeah.
Because it's funny about convicts. And I gotta differentiate. There's inmates and convicts in prison. So when I talking about this kind of stuff right now, I talking about convicts.
And I get that now.
The real guys.
I didn't understand that when you first started talking about it, but I get it because with our food business,
right,
we run into a lot of ex-cons, right?
Right.
And I can tell the difference now who was convicts and who was inmates.
Yep.
And it's funny because, and I've never been to prison,
There's a
right?
big difference.
But there is, and I really think that the convicts are the most real people in the world.
Right.
And I would lay my life down and trust an ex-con more than I would half the people out here. Because like you said, you know, the first sign of something going sideways or the first fire, they're out of there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like the ex-cons will be there. If they tell you they got your back, they got your back. You know? Other people will intend to get your back. But when shit hits the fan, it's yeah.
Nah, but I get something good going on here.
Yeah, you know. Uh-oh.
Do it. Do it.
I did it.
I did
I
it.
did it. Yeah, so I see that, which is why, you know, I love like when those guys come to buy food and stuff.
Yeah.
I love it because I feel like I'm more connected with them than I am with like a lot of my friends because.
But you see how we are with each other too.
Yeah. Yeah.
On real, we are with each other. And you know, like with Roy, I know him since I was 7th grade.
Yeah.
You know?
So they're all real. I feel like they're all real. But, and I don't know, because I'm only intimate with you, you know.
Right.
But I think you put yourself out there more than others, right? The others, they're doing well. They're real. They're just, but they, you know, they're doing well. They're real. They're not fake or anything, but they also just live life, right? You don't just live life. You put yourself out there and you live life for others while being real. You know what I mean? And that's a very unique thing in life, especially coming from the past that you've come from. You know, most people would just like, you know what, I'm good. You know, I'm gonna just stay here in my corner, you know, fuck you guys, deal with your own shit. You know what I mean? But you're constantly trying to help people. So I think
because I'm loyal to my friends.
Right, but I mean, it's people that you don't even know, so it's not even that, you know, it's your heart. It's your heart. And people get surprised by that because they look at you and they're like, his heart? You know what I mean? Because they know you as like, oh, he's the one that beat up ACOs. He's the one that don't give a shit. He's the one that can, you know, cut bait and walk away. Like, his heart, you know what I mean? But I know the real heart. And that's the one that I fall in love with, you know?
Like, he's trying to get in my pants, bro.
Is that a challenge?
Hey, wait. We're going the wrong direction.
Rookie.
No, we're supposed to be going that way.
Rookie.
I took the wrong car. That's why, good news about this, I can go back this way.
Good news.
What time now?
Good 8:07. I was just going to say good news about that is that...
I was going all the way to Wamanalo.
Bruh.
Took the wrong turn. See, you got me distracted. That sexy voice of yours. It's your fault. I gotta go all the way back that way to Kahiki.
See, you're a rookie.
If I go this way, I go back on the freeway. I'm not gonna go down Kahiki again.
I don't think so.
But I better just go this way.
Yeah. But yeah,
Well, we're just
That's
taking a
it.
sightseeing tour.
I just had to tell you that because it's one of the
I
things I
appreciate you.
admire
I love
about
you.
you.
Appreciate you.
There's a lot of things I admire about you.
There's a lot of things I admire about you too, mommy.
What?
Yeah. I admire that. You really care and love, not just for me, but for everybody that you meet. Your heart is pure. If you displaying that you care, it's a sincere thing. Some people act like they care.
So I'm not fake either.
They only act like they care because they're like something from you.
So what would an ex-con or what would a convict be in this world?
Huh?
What would a convict be in this world? Because convicts are like what you're saying, right? Like real and
Right.
you mean what you say. So what would have that equivalent be in this world?
Like you?
Because that's what you say. You guys always joke around like I have convict mentality. But it's
Like that?
but there has to be a name for it. I want a name. I want a title. I want a name. What is it? Tell me a name.
Think about it.
Think about it. Think about it.
Talk about it.
Think about it.
Yeah, there's people that talk about it, and there's people that walk it all. Walk it. Walk it.
Walk it. You
They
walk
don't
it.
talk it, they walk it.
You walk it.
I walk it.
Yes, you do. Sometimes a little too fast for me. And bigger steps in it, and I'm like.
I'm busy, gotta go. Gotta get it done.
So sometimes you need to put me on a skateboard with a string on the back so that you can just pull me along. I try my best to keep up with you.
Jump on the moped, catch up.
I think I do a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fall behind, but
I gotta go shishi.
Me too.
Yeah.
I just went.
I would have been shishi already.
If you wasn't a rookie.
I'm not a rookie.
You're a rookie. We both made rookie moves today.
But isn't Canary beautiful?
It is.
Is it? I tell you, this whole windward side, I'm so in love with this side. I had thoughts that I want to spend my life just waking up to the Ko'olau Mountains.
Yeah.
Because when I was staying
I love Waianae.
Waianae is beautiful too. It has its own charm.
Yeah.
But when I was staying at the RAM program, I would wake up in the morning and look at the Ko'olaus like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just
everything is so
beautiful.
green over there.
I love it, bro.
Yeah. You can grow all kinds of stuff on this side.
Yeah. No
lots
problem.
of water.
No problem. Everything's green here.
Yeah.
Why not? You gotta work for it. You gotta work to get your Shangri-La.
So Waianae is
And
really
we're on path to do that. We get that 6,000 gallon tank water and the 2,500 gallon tank water. We're gonna have a lot of water to be able to start what become a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know.
I really need to like update the log.
Because I think once we start doing that and planting in a way that we become self-sufficient, you know.
Yeah.
And then maybe like,
we're gonna start a thing.
Yeah, start a thing. 555. Yeah, we just go. Hey, that's an old school Datsun, huh?
Yeah. Where are we gonna shishi?
No, that's not.
Are we gonna shishi at the court?
At the court, yeah.
Okay.
We're almost there, listen. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody, just appreciate life, man. Appreciate life, love the people that surround you, you know, and care for them. You know, even though sometimes they can act like assholes, jackasses. Just know that everybody going through something, and we never know what people are going through at any given moment.
Yeah.
We don't know that the negative word we say to somebody, they're already on the edge, and what negative you say to them just might tip them over.
Yeah.
You know.
And the negative word that comes out of their mouth or negativity that comes out of their mouth means that they're going through something in their head,
Yeah.
you know. And that might be like their that last outlet, like the teapot, you know, the
Yeah.
tea kettle, and it just has to release,
Yeah.
you know.
So help a brother out.
Yeah.
Help a sister out.
Don't take life for granted either.
Yeah.
Always make sure that the last thing you tell your loved one is something positive, so that they're not left with something negative in life, you know.
And just be happy, man. We gotta bring happiness back into the world.
Yeah.
The meek shall inherit the earth. And I strongly believe in that. Because they're the only ones that really deserve it. All the rest of us, we're fucked up. Toe up from the flow up.
That's a thing. But I think everybody, I mean, yeah.
But we're all redeemable. Every
Yes.
single one of us.
Yes.
You can act like, oh, that guy is the worstest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But if he saved your baby in a fire, what would you say then?
That's why I say, you know, our friend, the one that doesn't like you. You know who I'm talking about, our friend in Nanakuli.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I still like, I'm like done, right? I'm so done, like throat chop level done, because it's just ridiculous the amount of energy she exerts to try and make trouble, right? And she never comes with solutions. Right? So what's the point? Like you're a sad, lonely old lady. Like you know.
Yeah.
But to me, because I am the way I am, I think maybe if I just give her a big hug.
And you tried that.
I did, but it was when she was being fake too, you know, and hi, you know, and I guess they thought they could get to me to get to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good luck with that.
Oh, that blew up in their face.
Yeah, and then now
you can see fake people coming from a mile away.
Yeah, you know, but I mean, like, just out of the blue for no reason, just give her a big hug and tell her, I'm sorry for everything that hurt you in your life. See, this is why people think I'm stupid and I'm ridiculous. Because even when, remember, so when you were in Halava and everybody was mad at your ex-wife, right? And I was like, you know, I told Marv, I said, yeah, and I said, you know, I wish her well though, and I know that she's hurting, and I know that, you know, this and that. And Marv just was like,
looked at you like,
she goes, oh, honey, you're such a sweet person, but she hates your fucking guts. She said that with a smile, and she goes, I just love you so much though. You're such a beautiful person. But don't forget she hates your fucking guts. I'm like, I know. But you know, that's just me. Like,
yeah.
I can be done with somebody. I can be so up to my freaking, you know, drowning in anger or hurt for them. But still, deep down inside, I still wanna give you a hug, and I still wanna heal your your wounds and all that, and heal your soul. It's like,
okay, here we are. We're here to be supportive of a member of our Hui.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
We're gonna go shishi.
Yeah, we gotta go shishi.
We're gonna go shishi, and probably, what time is it? It's probably like way too early. Do they start any cases at like 8 o'clock?
No, everything starts at 9.
Because I was like, oh, I want to watch other cases.
Yeah, it's funny, right? They do start at 9.
But it's open, right?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay. Because then we can go in, we can shishi, and then are we going to come back out here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or stay over there.
Yeah.
You might see somebody and I'm talking stories. Alright, love,
long
peace,
as I
and
get to
happiness, y'all. We out here. Love everybody.
Mhm.
Just love everybody that you can. And
Just
if you don't can
love.
love everybody, just love yourself. Alright.
Bye.